Dr. King's nonviolent strategy is one of the more scrutinized aspects of the civil rights movement. In deciding to choose this strategy, I mean, he basically signed up for physical abuse, being jailed. Just other black people suffering at the hands of police, just ugly situations that he chose nonviolence as his strategy. This was really based off of his faith, along with, I believe, the work of Gandhi before. And this strategy was one that ultimately he had a conviction about. And though a lot of people critique it, a lot of people don't see it as wise. One thing Dr. King didn't do was take everybody else's guns. Dr. King wasn't stopping anybody else from coming out busting their gun if that's what they wanted to do. Dr. King didn't shut down all black people from being able to create militias or, go about things in a way that they felt was best. Dr. King just said as for him, that was his approach. Now, a lot of people like to compare Dr. King or juxtapose him with Malcolm X, who was brash, who was outspoken, who said the things that a revolutionary says, who spoke his truth, who was basically just a brother who was speaking in a way that really resonated with us, and one who had more of a mentality of, hey, we should get it back in blood, as they say today. However, a close look at Malcolm X will leave you with the conclusion that ultimately Malcolm X also led a nonviolent revolution.
When a Muslim is attacked, and you'll find this to be the pattern, when the Muslims were attacked in Monroe, Louisiana, Elijah Muhammad gave no signal to anybody across the nation to come to the defense of their brothers. When our brothers were attacked in Los Angeles, again, Elijah Muhammad gave no signal to anybody to come to the defense of those brothers. Never have the Muslims anywhere in the country gotten any kind of instruction from the national office or headquarters on how to defend themselves when they are attacked by outsiders. The only times the Muslims have ever been given any instructions to commit violence is when that violence is directed against the fellow Muslim.
He heard out of his own mouth. He never saw a nation engage in any combat with anyone outside of someone of their own ilk. I would go so far as to say Dr. King's movement ultimately was more violent than the nation at that time. Dr. King may have had a nonviolent movement, but he had some violent brothers inside of it. He had a Hosea Williams. He had, you take a look at some of the characters. These are guys that went hand to hand, face to face, head to head with the KKK during that time, leading marches. So, Dr. King might have not wanted to believe in nonviolence, but I mean, he had to, the violence had to be harnessed out of some of these guys he had around. These were guys that was about a certain level of action. So, you tell me, hey, you just got done wrong by the police. You getting this guy come down and get his ass kicked with you and go sit in the jail cell with you. I mean, how can you top that? In comparison to not to undermine what was going on, because the nation did wonderful things in their headquarters. But it's a big difference between you coming getting jumped with me versus you in your neighborhood where your crew is. As DMX, I was gonna say as DMX, everybody is the band in their own hood, but I don't want to disrespect the ancestors like that. But I'm just saying, it's a huge difference in what King was doing versus what Malcolm was doing. Though both are ancestors that opened up doors for us that are, love and their work is to be respected. But I just think it's very interesting. We view Malcolm X as this revolutionary, alternative to Dr. King. But when we take a much more closer and critical eye, we'll see that there's no debating that Malcolm X led a nonviolent revolution. And I would argue that was even less violent than Dr. King's 10X.